before the world can see your brilliance, before love can find you, before success can embrace you, you must first see it within yourself. Too often we wait for someone else to validate our beauty, our worth, our talents, but the truth is, all real transformation begins inside. When you see yourself clearly, truly, lovingly, and with compassion, everything else begins to shift. You are the mirror that reflects your reality. The world around you responds not just to your actions, but to the energy you carry, the thoughts you think, and the beliefs you hold about yourself deep within. When you walk through life believing you are not enough, you will find yourself in situations that seem to confirm that belief. You'll attract relationships that don't value you, opportunities that pass you by, and experiences that feel like a reflection of your fears. But the truth is, it isn't the world rejecting you. It is your own reflection mirroring back to you the thoughts you've been thinking in the silence of your mind. The mirror does not lie. It simply reflects. It has no judgment, no preference. It doesn't ask whether what you believe is helpful or harmful. It just gives you more of it. That's why it is so important to become aware of what you are carrying within. The moment you shift what you believe about yourself, your outer world will begin to transform. The people, the situations, the emotions, they are all echoing what lives inside you. You believe you are unlovable, you will interpret others' behavior as rejection, even when it may not be. If you believe you are not smart enough, you will hold yourself back from trying. You'll doubt your own voice. You'll question every step. But none of this is the truth of who you are. These are just inherited patterns, old stories that have been told for so long, they began to sound like your own voice. But they are not your truth. You are not broken. You are not lacking. You are not too late, too much, or not enough. You are a whole and radiant being, capable of rewriting the story that plays inside your mirror. The moment you begin to see yourself differently, the mirror must reflect the change. And it doesn't take years. It takes a decision. A decision to stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. A decision to stop defining yourself by your past. A decision to remember that your self-picture is not fixed, it is fluid. You can shift it, you can expand it, you can soften the hard edges and add light where there was once darkness. Start with something small. Stand in front of a mirror and simply look into your own eyes, not to criticize, not to fix, but just to witness. Say gently, I am learning to see myself with love. You don't need to force yourself to believe something you're not ready for, but you can invite a new belief to take root. You can begin the process of peeling away the layers of doubt, shame, and guilt. You can begin to honor your feelings without letting them define your future. What happens when you start believing you're worthy? The mirror responds. You notice opportunities you didn't see before. You attract kindness. You stop chasing people who cannot see your value because you've already found it within. You walk differently. You speak with more softness and certainty. And what's even more magical? The people around you begin to reflect your new belief. They sense your strength. They feel your peace. They respond to your wholeness because now you've made space for it. When you were a child, you may have absorbed ideas that didn't belong to you. You may have been told you were too sensitive, too loud, too quiet, too slow. These voices were never yours to carry, yet you did. You made them part of your identity, but now you are the artist. You are the one holding the mirror and the brush. You can paint something new. The truth is, your reality will never rise higher than the image you hold of yourself. So choose a higher image. Choose one that sees your resilience, your beauty, your worth. You are allowed to rewrite every false belief. You are allowed to start over at any moment. There is no shame in changing the way you see yourself. In fact, it's one of the most powerful things you can do. Each time you say something kind to yourself, each time you honor your needs, each time you forgive yourself for being human, you polish the mirror, you remove the fog, you allow yourself to see clearly. And when you see yourself clearly, the world no longer has to reflect your pain. It can now reflect your healing. So today, become aware of what you are projecting. Notice your inner dialogue. Catch the moments when you speak unkindly to yourself and gently choose again. Speak to yourself like someone you deeply care about, because you are. You deserve to be seen with love. You deserve to live in a reality that reflects your truth, your power, your peace. You are not waiting on the world to change. The world is waiting on you to see yourself differently. You are the mirror. You are the light. And when you change your reflection, you change your reality. Stop waiting for permission. You don't need someone else to tell you it's okay to follow your dreams. You don't need to wait for approval to love yourself, to speak your truth, to live fully and freely. The life you desire is not sitting behind someone else's decision. It is waiting for you, for your courage, your yes, your decision to step forward, even when no one claps, even when no one understands. Too many people live their lives trapped in invisible cages, cages made of hesitation, of old voices that said, "Who do you think you are?" or "You're not ready yet." So they wait. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until the timing feels perfect. They wait until someone says, "Yes, now you may begin." But the truth is, the longer you wait for someone else to give you permission, the longer you stay disconnected from your own power. No one can see your vision the way you do. No one can feel your calling as deeply as you do. And no one will ever be able to give you the validation you seek if you're not giving it to yourself first. You came into this life with your own path, your own timing, your own light, and that light doesn't need outside confirmation to shine. It simply needs your decision to let it be seen. Every time you hesitate because you're waiting for someone else to believe in you, you hand them the pen to write your story. But you are the author, you are the creator, you get to decide how this chapter unfolds. So if there's something in your heart that won't leave you alone, an idea, a shift, a longing, it's not there by accident. It's life calling you forward, not because you're already perfect, but because you're ready to grow. You're ready to expand beyond the limitations others may have placed on you. And more importantly, the ones you've placed on yourself. You don't need to be flawless to begin. You don't need to be completely healed, wildly successful, or universally liked. All you need is willingness. The willingness to say, even if no one claps for me, I'll clap for myself. Even if no one understands, I'll still choose to rise. Because waiting for permission is just another way fear disguises itself as patience. But your soul knows when it's time, and that time is now. What would you do if no one could judge you? What would you try if you weren't worried about failing? What version of you is waiting just behind the wall of hesitation? That version is not a fantasy, it's the real you, the one you've buried beneath layers of doubt and waiting. She or he is still there, whispering, "Please let me out. Please let me try." You weren't born to ask for permission to live your life. You were born to live it, fully, boldly, authentically. You were born to explore, to try, to fail, to get back up and try again. You were not made to fit in someone else's mold. You were not made to live by someone else's rules. And you certainly were not made to spend your one precious life waiting for someone to say, "You are allowed now." When you stop waiting, something beautiful happens. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to discover just how capable, resilient, and wise you truly are. And that trust builds momentum. One brave step becomes two, a whisper becomes a voice becomes a movement. Suddenly the fear that once paralyzed you begins to dissolve, and in its place grows a steady, grounded confidence, not because someone gave it to you, but because you earned it by showing up for yourself. The people you admire didn't wait for permission. They started scared. They started messy. They started when no one was watching, and they kept going. So let that be your reminder. You don't have to be unafraid. You just have to be willing. Willing to believe that your dreams matter. Willing to believe that your voice matters. Willing to believe that your life was never meant to be lived in the shadows of someone else's comfort. Say this to yourself right now. I give myself permission. I allow myself to try. I allow myself to be imperfect. I allow myself to grow, to shine, and to take up space. The only permission that ever truly mattered was your own. So breathe deeply, place your hand over your heart, and know this: you are ready. You have always been ready. Stop waiting. Life is not waiting on someone else to believe in you. It's waiting on you to believe in yourself. Embrace your inner vision, for it is the sacred compass that guides you toward your true path. Deep within you lies a quiet knowing, a vision that isn't shaped by the outside world but born from the soul's deepest desires. It whispers of possibilities, of dreams, of a life that feels both expansive and aligned, yet too often we ignore that voice. We silence it with logic, with fear, with the noise of other people's expectations. But no matter how long you've avoided it, your inner vision never abandons you. It waits patiently, hoping you'll return to it. Your inner vision isn't just a fantasy, it's a glimpse into what's possible when you align your life with truth. It's not just about what you want to achieve, it's about who you're meant to become. And when you finally allow yourself to see clearly, without doubt or guilt or hesitation, you step into your power. You stop chasing approval and start honoring your own path. There is something magnificent within you, something unrepeatable. And it will not bloom in the shadows of comparison. It cannot thrive under the weight of self-doubt. It needs light. It needs trust. It needs you to believe that what you see in your heart matters more than what anyone else sees with their eyes. The world often teaches us to look outside for direction, follow trends, follow the crowd, do what is safe and familiar. But the life that fulfills you won't come from mimicking others. It will come from honoring what sets your soul on fire. That fire is your inner vision, and when you fan its flames with love, attention, and trust, you become unstoppable. It's okay if your vision looks different. It's okay if no one else understands it yet. That's not their job, it's yours. You are the steward of your vision. You are the one who must protect it from doubt and nurture it with courage. You don't need all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. You only need to take the next step, guided by the light within. There will be moments when the path looks unclear. That's part of the process. The inner vision speaks in whispers, not shouts. It guides through feelings, not formulas. You may feel pulled in a direction that makes no sense to others, and even that is sacred. You are not here to make sense to everyone. You are here to be true to yourself. When you align with your inner vision, life begins to open up in extraordinary ways. You meet the right people. You walk through the right doors. You make decisions from a place of clarity rather than confusion. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when your inner world and your outer world start to reflect each other. There is no timeline you must follow. You are not behind. You haven't missed your chance. Your vision is still alive inside you, waiting to be welcomed again. Whether you're just starting to listen or returning after years of silence, you are right on time. Your journey is unfolding perfectly. Begin to trust your intuition more. Start to value your ideas, even the ones that feel impossible. The moment you give yourself permission to believe in your vision, the universe begins to rearrange itself to support you. It's not magic, it's intention, it's clarity, and clarity is powerful. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. You're not here to fit in, you're here to awaken. An awakening happens when you stop betraying your vision to meet someone else's expectations. You are not here to shrink, you are here to expand. You are here to remember who you are and live from that place every single day. When doubts come, and they will, meet them with compassion. Doubt is not the enemy. It's a sign that you're stepping beyond your comfort zone. Don't run from it, move through it. Let your vision be bigger than your fear. Let your purpose be louder than your hesitation. You don't need to wait for everything to make sense before you begin. The path will rise to meet you. Just take one small step today, one action in alignment with your truth. That's how momentum begins. That's how dreams become real. Your inner vision is your gift. Don't ignore it. Don't belittle it. Embrace it, nurture it, trust it. Because when you do, life becomes less about survival and more about expression, less about doing what you should and more about becoming who you really are. You are allowed to live a life that feels right to you. You are allowed to follow what excites your soul. The more you do, the more vibrant your reality becomes. And soon, the world outside will begin to mirror the truth you've been carrying inside all along. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were meant to follow your vision. Let it lead you home. Let go of who others think you should be. That version of you, the one shaped by expectations, by pressure, by silent rules you never agreed to, was never the real you. It was a survival strategy, a performance, a way to feel accepted in a world that often demands conformity before authenticity. But deep within you, beyond the layers of shoulds and supposed tos, lives your truest self, beautiful, whole, worthy, and ready to be seen. You are not here to meet every expectation. You are not here to carry the weight of everyone else's opinions. You are not here to dim your light so others feel more comfortable. You are here to shine, to live in truth, to speak from the heart, to create a life that reflects who you really are. And to do that, you must release the grip of who you were told to be. For many, this begins in childhood. We learn early how to please, how to shrink, how to earn love by performing a version of ourselves that feels safer, more acceptable. We learn which parts of us are celebrated and which are ignored. So we adapt. We hide our anger, our dreams, our wildness, our depth. And without realizing it, we slowly become a stranger to ourselves. But eventually, something shifts. There comes a moment, sometimes loud, sometimes quiet, when the cost of pretending becomes too heavy. You feel tired in your soul. You ache for something real. That is the call to come home. Not to the version of you others want, but to the one who has always lived beneath the surface. You don't need to prove anything to be loved. You don't need to edit yourself to be worthy. You are not a project that needs to be fixed. You are a soul that deserves to be honored. When you stop trying to fit into someone else's mold, you discover your own shape. You reclaim your voice. You begin to listen to what you want, what you believe, what feels true for you. Letting go of who others think you should be isn't always easy. It may come with discomfort. You may lose people who only knew the mask, not the real you, but those who truly love you, the ones who see you, hear you, value you, will remain. And new aligned souls will arrive when you start showing up as yourself without apology. The real you may be quieter or bolder than others expected. You may be more sensitive, more creative, more spiritual, more passionate. Good. Let yourself be exactly that. Your authenticity is not a problem to solve. It's a light to be embraced. And the more you live from that space, the more peace you'll feel. Because truth is always more peaceful than pretending. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to grow beyond the roles you were given. You are allowed to stop playing small just because someone else can't handle your expansion. Let go of the fear that being yourself will disappoint people. Disappointment is not a sign that you're wrong. It's a sign that their vision of you no longer matches your truth. You don't need permission to be free. You don't need validation to evolve. This is your life. This is your journey. And every time you choose authenticity over approval, you reclaim your power. Every time you honor your voice, you honor your soul. And the more you do this, the more the universe opens up in support, because the universe responds not to who you pretend to be, but to who you truly are. Letting go of who others think you should be means you stop shrinking when you feel called to rise. It means you speak when your truth wants to be heard, even if your voice shakes. It means you stop waiting for the perfect moment to be yourself and start being that version now, messy, radiant, and real. You don't have to abandon love to find yourself. But you may have to release relationships built on versions of you that no longer exist. And that's okay. Every time you let go of something not aligned, you make space for something that is. Start now. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to your values, your dreams, your emotions, your rhythm. Wear what feels good. Speak how you speak. Live how you long to live. Let the real you be enough, not the curated, censored, polished version, but the whole, honest you. You will find joy here. You will find belonging, not by being what others expect, but by being exactly who you are. The path forward is not about becoming more of what the world demands. It's about becoming more of you. Let it be simple. If it costs your peace, your truth, your self-respect, it's too expensive. Choose you, trust you, be you. That's where your freedom lives. That's where your purpose begins. And that's where life truly starts to bloom. Speak to yourself like someone you love. Let every word you whisper inward be wrapped in kindness, patience, and understanding. You are not a problem to be solved or a burden to be managed. You are a soul doing the best you can, carrying invisible battles and private dreams. And you deserve your own compassion more than anyone else. It begins with your voice, the one you use in silence when no one else can hear. That voice has power. It shapes your self-picture, your confidence, your healing. And the truth is, it's time to make it your greatest source of comfort instead of your sharpest critic. You have spent too long being hard on yourself, too long replaying your mistakes, questioning your worth, and doubting your journey. Would you ever speak to someone you love that way? Would you tell a friend she's not enough because she failed? Would you remind a child of all the things he's done wrong instead of all the things he's overcome? Of course not. Then why do you do it to yourself? What you say to yourself becomes the tone of your life. If the words are gentle, life feels softer. If the words are cruel, life becomes heavier. Every time you choose love over judgment, you choose healing over shame. Every time you choose to lift yourself instead of tear yourself down, you send a message to your heart: I am safe with me. You are allowed to be flawed and still worthy. You are allowed to mess up and still be lovable. You are allowed to not have all the answers and still be valuable. Love is not something you earn through perfection. It's something you return to through truth. And the truth is, you've always been enough, even on your worst days. When life feels overwhelming, when your goals seem far away, when your body aches or your spirit feels low, speak to yourself like someone who matters. Wrap your own heart in comfort. Say, I am here for you. I believe in you. I see how hard you're trying. These aren't empty affirmations. They are reminders that your inner world deserves the same gentleness you give so freely to others. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are evolving, growing, becoming. And that path isn't linear. It's filled with detours, pauses, and unexpected lessons. Speak to yourself with encouragement, not pressure, with hope, not fear. The voice inside you is not meant to be a drill sergeant. It is meant to be a guide, a friend, a source of strength when everything else feels uncertain. When your mind replays old stories, stories of not being enough, not being loved, not being chosen, pause, breathe. Interrupt the pattern. Say to yourself, that's not my truth anymore. I am rewriting the story. You are not obligated to believe the narrative handed to you by fear, trauma, or comparison. You can choose a new way to speak, a new way to think, a new way to love yourself. Self-love doesn't mean ignoring your flaws. It means embracing them with honesty and care. It means saying, I see where I need to grow, and I will do it with grace. It means offering yourself the forgiveness you've given to everyone else. It means becoming your own safe place, your own biggest encourager, your own loyal companion. Think of the people who've changed your life. Chances are they didn't do it by criticizing you. They did it by believing in you. Be that person for yourself. Believe in your capacity to change, to heal, to thrive. Believe in your ability to rise after falling. Believe that you are worthy of kindness simply because you exist. Let your inner voice be soft even when the world is loud. Let it be loving even when your circumstances are hard. When you stand in the mirror, don't look for flaws, look for light. Speak to that light, nurture it. Tell it, you are beautiful. You are trying. You are doing so much better than you think. This is not about vanity. It's about survival. It's about thriving. Because no one hears you more than you hear yourself. And every loving word you offer yourself becomes a seed of healing. One day those seeds bloom into confidence, peace, and resilience. But it starts with choosing to speak differently today, right now. So if no one else has said it today, let me say it for you. You are doing beautifully. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be proud. You are worthy of love, especially your own. Speak gently, speak with reverence. Speak like someone who truly loves the person you see in the mirror. Because that person is worthy, that person is you. Choose to see the light in you. It's always been there, quietly glowing beneath every doubt, every fear, every painful moment. Sometimes it flickers, sometimes it hides behind shadows, but it never goes out. That light is your truth, your spirit, your strength. It's not something you have to earn. It's something you have to remember. We live in a world that often magnifies what's wrong. It's easy to get caught up in what you lack, in how far you think you still have to go, in the moments you didn't show up the way you wanted to. But those are not the full story. They are fragments, not definitions. There is more to you than the times you've fallen. There is more to you than the voices that told you you weren't enough. There is a whole, radiant, powerful presence within you, and you get to choose to see it. Your mind may be trained to notice flaws, to dwell on regrets, to chase perfection, but you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the being who can pause, breathe, and shift your perspective. And when you do, when you gently turn your attention inward with love instead of criticism, something begins to heal. You start to see what's always been good, always been worthy, always been light. You were born with that light. Before the world told you who you should be, how you should act, or what you must achieve to be accepted, you were pure, open, and free. You loved without question. You laughed from your belly. You believed in miracles without needing proof. That version of you still lives inside. It may be buried beneath pain or responsibility or time, but it hasn't disappeared. It's waiting for you to see it again. To choose to see the light in you is not about ignoring your struggles. It's about remembering that even in your struggles, you are still radiant. You can be both a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same time. You can be healing and still whole. You can feel broken and still be full of light. Your challenges do not define you. Your courage to face them does. When you begin to recognize your own life, something beautiful happens. You start to treat yourself with more care. You set stronger boundaries. You stop chasing validation from places that can't give it. You speak more gently to your heart. You become more willing to trust your inner voice and follow your own rhythm instead of trying to keep up with everyone else's race. The light in you shows up in so many ways. In your kindness, your resilience, your honesty, your creativity, your quiet moments of grace. It shines when you choose love over fear, when you forgive instead of holding on, when you keep going even when everything feels heavy. It shines when you smile through the tears, when you stand up after falling, when you say, I am worthy, even when your mind tries to argue otherwise. Sometimes you may forget. That's okay. Be patient with yourself. This isn't about pretending to feel light all the time. It's about making the conscious decision again and again to look for it, to notice it in your breath, in your heartbeat, in your ability to feel deeply, to see it in your reflection and say, I am here, I am alive, and I am enough. There will always be things in the world and in yourself that seem dark, but that does not cancel out the light. It gives you contrast. It helps you appreciate your strength, your clarity, your ability to grow. The most beautiful souls are not the ones who've never struggled. They are the ones who've seen darkness and still choose to shine. So today and every day, come back to your light. You don't need anyone else's permission to own it. You don't have to be perfect to honor it. You simply need to be willing to soften, to turn inward, and to remember. You are not here to shrink. You are not here to chase approval. You are here to shine from within. Say to yourself, I choose to see the light in me. I choose to see my heart, my purpose, my beauty. I release the need to be anyone other than who I truly am. And as you do, watch your world shift. Watch your energy rise. Watch your relationships deepen. Because when you see the light in yourself, you invite others to do the same. You are the light. You've always been the light. And now it's your time to see it, own it, and let it lead you.